with you today. I hope you are well, that you are happy, that you are healthy, wealthy, and wise. And this is our Christmas season, and I wanted to come with a few more videos than normal to give to you and to share to you and how you can bag that perfect online job for you for 2022. So if you look in the previous video I uploaded, I talked about how you can make plans for 2022. I made a video like that for last year. So if you scroll through all my videos, you'll see one that I made last year about how I made the plans for 2021. Things did not go as I expected because, hey, we're in a pandemic, but that's okay. I can always recover in 2022. Now, this time around, I'm here to talk about some things, particularly 6 most common job interview mistakes. And if you see me here looking, you know I'm looking at my notes. So the first common mistake that we all make at times is confusing an interview with an interrogation. Sometimes you're in the interview and you feel as if somebody's drilling you and poking at you and propping you and prodding you, and it's really not an interrogation. So even if your interviewer comes at you with a kind of aggressive tone, it is up to you as the interviewee to make that atmosphere not as aggressive as it's supposed to be. It's actually supposed to be a friendly, but yet professional type of atmosphere. So do not feel offended and don't feel the need to retaliate when you're answering those questions, firing back the questions because you feel that tension there. All right. So most candidates expect to be interrogated, believe it or not. An interrogation occurs when one person asks all the questions and the other receives or gives an answer. But the interview is actually an exchange. So there's a time when the interviewer will ask you questions, but they will also give you leeway at the end for you to now ask your questions. So it should feel more like an exchange or an engagement than an interrogation. Number two, making a so-called weakness seem positive. If they ask you, and this is a common question that interviewers ask, right? Tell me what are your weaknesses and what are your strengths. So when you are talking about your weaknesses, be honest and be authentic. Do not act as if, yes, I have a weakness, but just say what the weaknesses are. It says conventional interview wisdom dictates that you highlight a weakness like I'm a perfectionist and turn it into a positive. However, interviewers are not really impressed when they see or when you try to do that because they've probably heard the same answer 100 times. If you're asked this question, just highlight a skill that you wish to improve on and describe what you're doing to enhance in that area. All right. So if you talk about a weakness, just talk about the weakness that you'd like to improve on and how you are now enhancing or improving that skill. All right, let's go on to number three. Number three talks about failing to ask questions. Remember, I talked about this in the point number one. When you are speaking to the interviewer, it should feel like an engagement or an exchange. It shouldn't feel like an interrogation. And therefore, you should also have your questions to ask the interviewer, right? Because you are just as interested in finding out about the company as the interviewer is interested in finding out about you. So every interview concludes with the interviewer asking you if you have any questions. The worst thing to say is that you have no questions, because having no questions indicates that you are not prepared and that you're not interested in the role. So please be mindful of that. However, the interviewers are always impressed when you have questions and you ask about the selling points of the company. So before each interview, do your research and make a list of about 3 to 4 questions that you can ask the interviewer during the interview. Now, point number 4, researching the company but not yourself. What do I mean by that? Lots of candidates prepare by researching the company, but they don't research on themselves by taking inventory of their experience, knowledge, and skills. I always say do an audit of yourself. You should know how far you've come along in your professional journey, where you are planning to get ahead. You could easily answer the questions, what are you going to do in the next 5 to 10 years? Those questions are things can just roll off the top of your tongue. Why? Because you are abreast with your professional experience and your skills. You need to know where you need to enhance, where are your weaknesses and what you need to do to enhance those weaknesses, and what are your strengths and how you can what you can do to add it to the company, right? What skills you're taking to the company. So formulate a list of accomplishments that prepares you to immediately respond to questions about your experience. You must be prepared to discuss any part of your background. So refresh your memory, especially if you have length of experience of 30 years, 40 years. Many times you don't even remember some of the things that you've done, but always refresh your memory when you are doing that. All right? Create your talent inventory. Refresh your memory and that helps you to immediately remember the experiences you've had that you probably have forgotten. Number 5, one thing is leaving your cell phone on. We may live in a wired, always available world, but turn off that cell phone when you're in the interview or put it in another room. That's what I always do. Put it in another room so that you are not distracted. So the last tip I have for you is not following up after the interview. So always try to follow up after the interview. Sometimes you can send a thank you email to the interviewer or to the employer. You can, or some people I know, send a thank you card. And don't forget to drop in a follow-up email after about 1 week, just in case you don't hear anything back. If you have a number, maybe you can call the number to say, hey, I haven't heard anything yet. I'm wondering if I got through with the job. Let me know. So there you go. 6 common mistakes that we make sometimes when we are in an interview. It is my wish and my desire for you to live your dream life. Be the star of your own show. Go out there and do the work and prosper and succeed. And I hope the tips that I have left for you today and the things that I've been doing over the years, all the interviews, all the different videos, all the resources that I've given you have really helped you. So you know what? I want you to just drop in the comments how some of these tips and resources have helped you over the years. It really encourages me because sometimes I do feel like I'm doing this in vain, truth be told. But there are times when people would send me a nice note to say, hi, Mrs. Irvin, because of you, I got a job. Those things warm my heart. So let me know in the comments how these videos over the years have helped you. Have they helped you to secure a job? Are you closer to getting your dream job? Or are you closer to creating your dream life? Let me know in the comments. And if you have any tips or different content that you want me to put on this channel, let me know also. All right? Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next week. I have some more videos coming right into the end of the year, so keep it locked right here. I'll see you next time. Bye.